Good morning, everyone. Today's a bit of a deja vu type of day. Feels a lot like last week, Monday. Just like last week, Monday, I stayed home last night. Drove to Kelowna, delivered first thing in the morning. Well, last week was a little later, but nonetheless, we delivered in Kelowna in the morning. And then ran empty up to Lavington. Picked up a load there. Let's head down to Spokane. A little stormy out there. Snowing a little bit at Big White. Okay, snowing quite a bit there. Wasn't sticking yet. So we're on Highway 33 southbound, approaching, I believe it's called Westbridge. I think it's Westbridge. Should be the next town we're coming up to, should be Westbridge, if my memory serves me correct. Highway 33 is one of those no cell service type of highways. All the way from Kelowna to Rock Creek. You have a couple of little patches here and there where you have cell service, but rule of thumb, you don't have cell service up here. The whole highway is fairly secluded. Some small little towns like Westbridge and Beaverdale and Carmi. No Jess again this week. So the truck was in the shop again this weekend to get my heater fixed and for a basic oil change. They did the oil change and greasing and all that. Didn't fix the heater. Apparently the part didn't come in. It's like, yay! Might freeze my toes off again this week. It's supposed to get a lot colder this week. Apparently it's snowing pretty good in the Kootenays right now. Same with Rogers Pass on Highway 1. So both Highway 1 and 3 are getting hammered by snow. A high of 0 degrees tomorrow in this area, so Westbridge. This town is has one of those bridges that you have to go onto oncoming traffic to make the corner onto the bridge. So you always just gotta slow her down, look way ahead. No traffic, no traffic, going across. Line the trailers up. Good to go. usually go a little wider than I need to. Rather safe than sorry, right? Forest fire raged through this community, what is it, 2 summers ago? I think it was about 2 summers ago. Still getting over the last of this cold, I think. Hey, look, a Sutco chip truck. This is Kettle River, because we are in Kettle Valley, so I think it's Kettle River. Now we're headed to Rock Creek. I probably have cell service now. It starts picking up over here about 10 kilometers out. But for most of the distance of this highway, there's no cell service. Excuse me. I think I'll hit the Midway scales and write down my weights versus my gauges. Always do that. Even though I got my spreadsheet all filled in now, I still pull in and double check whenever I get a load like this that's close to legal maximums, where I know I'm just under the legal weights, but we're close. It's a really good reference point just to go, are my numbers still correct? Are the pressure gauge is still reading correctly? My throat was fine until I started talking. Drinking plenty of water. Can't talk to you guys, that's all. Man, a lot of down trees, just little trees. It got really windy through here the last week, so a lot of down trees. All the dead trees from the forest fire, and now you get a bunch of wind come through, all the trees fall over. More blue sky this way. highway you see right in front of us going up the mountain is Highway 3. That would be going westbound. We're going to be going eastbound, so we're not climbing up that. Hey look, some marshmallows all gathered near the gate. Another Sutco chip truck. I've only got 2 layers of lumber on the truck because it is a US run. Not even full 2 layers. I don't know if you can see that, but the first trailer only has a bundle centered on the back of the first trailer.
In 700 meters, turn left on Highway 3.
Thanks, Carmen. I leave her on. Just that way, it's a habit of leaving it on if you're in a new place. You get distracted and go, oh, right, I have to turn off soon. Especially when you drive all day long and you're not really the same highway, no turns, and all of a sudden you have to turn off and catches up with you quicker than you think.
Turn left at the stop sign.
That's an interesting structure. Oh yeah, signal at the last second. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Continue on Highway 3.
What are you doing there, sir? up some signs. The wind's knocking down signs. Okay. What is this? I thought they had stomped out these invasive species, all these orange flowers. But apparently they're still working on it. There's some plants that really don't want to give up the fight. There's people walking right beside the road. I go much slower than the sign says we have to go. Oh, the track is off the excavator there. To Midway. We got a little bit of blue sky here, clouds all around us. We're getting a couple of snowflakes here too. Melting on contact, but recently on weekends I've been watching older movies. Not old movies, but older movies. You know, like 90s. First Contact, Armageddon. Actually, we did watch one really old movie when we were in Manitoba. Smokey and the Bandits. Smokey and the Bandit. I'm just going, there's a lot of good movies that I've forgotten about and haven't watched for a long time. I need to get back and watch some of those movies. Did find funny though how so super unrealistic Armageddon and Twister, some of those movies are. It's like, oh yeah, I remember watching these when I was younger. They seemed very plausible back in the day. Now you watch it and go, who was their science advisor? Especially like Armageddon, it's like, none of this seems to be anything based on reality. That concrete truck's coming from, or is he returning? Maybe he's returning. Is there? I can't think of a concrete place in Midway. I know there's one in Osoyoos and there's one in Grand Forks. So how far are they hauling this concrete? He has his rear axles down. So that makes me think he's loaded. So is he coming all the way from Osoyoos? Pretty cool rocks on those cliff faces. Scale is closed, like almost always. Got a lot of wood chips sitting there. Stacking up pretty good. Milk truck. All right, let's write these numbers down. You guys can do the math. I'm allowed to have a gross weight of 47,854.
Turn right at the stop sign.
Let's call it 5710. $13,550. $14,930. Yeah, the back's actually fairly light. 10,090. Okay. Jump out and write down what my pressure gauges read. Okay. So my drives were at 55 psi. My first trailer was at 47 psi, and my rear trailer at 49 psi. Pretty much where I was expecting everything to be. Of Midway. I like that sign. Don't think I've seen that new sign before. Looks pretty decent.
Continue on Highway 3.
The lumber mill beside us here is Vaughan Fiber Canada. It's all rough cut lumber that goes to Colville, Washington. Gets planed over there, and then sometimes gets loaded and brought right back to Canada. Goes to the US as rough cut wood and back into Canada as finished lumber. Made in the US, of course. Because it was planed in the US. But the rough cut came from Canada. Usually it goes from Midway to Grand Forks. We transfer it and then it goes on train from there to Colville. But this last 2 weeks, I don't know how long they've been doing it now, but I was talking to another Sutco driver. They've been delivering from Midway all the way to Colville. So maybe the train track is down for maintenance or something. another milk truck. I bet you this guy's gonna pull over to that scale. I saw the other milk truck had dropped his trailer there, and they're gonna trade trailers and turn around and drive back. I wonder why. It might be a full day run, but if two drivers meet up halfway, they can both be home for overnight. That'd be my best guess. It's like, hey, we got 2 runs of milk coming from the same place every day. So instead of, actually that wouldn't make sense. It'd be 1 run of milk, one load of milk every day. But it's a full day of driving to get from one. So it'd be like 12 hours of drive time. Instead of driving for 12 hours. Oh yeah, see, it needs 2 people. Every other day you would have to pick up a load. Okay, I see how that would work. So one guy leaves Vancouver and goes to, let's say, Cranbrook. Runs out of hours in Cranbrook, spends the night there, and in the morning picks up a load of milk and drives back to Vancouver. He's home every other night. Unless there's a driver that lives in Cranbrook and another driver that lives in Vancouver, they drive halfway, Midway. They drive to Midway, drop the trailers, take each other's trailers, and return back the way they came, and that way they get to be home every night. I have no idea if that's accurate what's going on, but that'd be my guess. Some kind of scenario like that. Sky this way. The sun's pretty blinding behind us, but looks like it'll be a fairly uneventful trip to Spokane. When I get my new truck, I'll put the camera mount. I'll have to buy a couple new camera mounts on the edge of the cab. That way you can see more of the road behind us instead of centered on the load. I just don't want to put another sticky mount on the truck. I've already got 3 mounts stuck onto this one. And they're expensive, those mounts. I mean, you can buy cheap knockoff ones on eBay, but do you trust those cheap knockoff ones to hold your camera outside on the truck? In the cab, sure. I wouldn't mind the cheap knockoffs, but if you start buying a mix of good quality and cheap knockoffs, they look exactly the same. How do you make sure you don't mix them up? I'll buy the expensive ones. Definitely windy out there. Getting quite breezy. Hey, there's 2 Jacks there. Jack and Jill, I guess. Like that smokestack sticking out. Gotta go visit that again. That was fun. Welcome to Greenwood. Always like this community. Pretty nifty. Would have been neat to see this in its heyday when the mining was going away around like crazy. Used to be a big city. You know, when the mining place shut down, the city just disappeared. It's really just a small village now, but still has the name of city. And that's why it's known as Canada's smallest city, because it never lost the title of city. Officially still a city, even though the city part is gone. The houses are just gone. And still shrinking. You still have a business here going out of business, and a house disappear here and there. No new houses being built. The old downtown, the old buildings are slowly deteriorating, and every now and then one disappears. There's all these empty gaps, empty spaces where there used to be buildings. Signs just swinging in the wind, straight out. Definitely windy, very windy. Incoming storm, I think. Twister of leaves going dead into the wind right now, but we'll be turning and getting a side wind as we go over Eholt. Well guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, hit that thumbs up and consider sharing the video with your friends or on your social media. Or rate my channel. Ask questions. Lots of comments. Really enjoy the questions I have been getting. Trying to fly a kite out there. Pretty darn windy. You gotta be flying the right type of kite to fly in this kind of wind. Greenwood Tunnel. Alright, we will see you guys tomorrow. Likely getting a load from Spokane and heading back up to Canada somewhere. We will see where to. Those clouds are moving pretty darn quick. We're still like 40 minutes away from Spokane. We're southbound on Highway 395. And it's snowing. Nothing's sticking, but it's snowing. Quite beautiful, actually. I love the different clouds and just kind of cool looking. Misty, snowy down here, and then to the right you got a bit of a glow, yellowish orange glow, and then up to the top left you got kind of a little bit of blue sky there. So windy. Starting to stick to the windshield. It's not melting instantly anymore. It's +5 outside, so it's not going to freeze on the road yet, but I enjoy this kind of weather. Expecting to run into this. I knew the Kootenays were getting hit by snow, but I wasn't expecting to get snow further south. What do we got going on here? Nobody behind us. Give them some room. 3 vehicles pulled over. It just doesn't make sense. Obviously something going on, but I don't know what. A little less windy up here. Flakes are floating a little more here. That must be a light load. Only a single axle on the truck. said earlier, I think winter is here to stay. Thicker, heavier. Snowfall is getting heavier. It still feels like there's blue sky up there, but it's snowing pretty heavily. I guess if it's so windy, the cloud doesn't have to be right above us. These flakes can get pushed far off to the side from where the cloud is. See what the roads look like tomorrow. Might be some black ice I gotta watch out for. Definitely have to keep our eyes open. I figured I'd shoot a short little bonus video. I always love storms, so I think I'm going to enjoy this one as well. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the bonus video. Thanks for watching. It's definitely getting thicker. All these cars have got snow stuck on their front bumpers. Some of them have snow stuck on their wipers. Looking at their wipers, I think it's going to be the obnoxious sticky stuff. I'm going to turn the heat up onto the windshield. Most of the time you try to keep your windshield cold and have no airflow going over the windshield. Try to keep the windshield nice and cold so the snow doesn't melt onto it, but because the weather's still so warm, there's no way I can keep it from sticking, so the best bet is to make the windshield really warm, keep the wipers from freezing up. Oh yeah, it's sticking here. Look at the shoulders on the side of the road. It's sticking. Down to +2. Got these new winter wipers on. I guess we're going to give them a test. Oh yeah, his wipers are completely frozen up, so yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on that. +1. Roads are still wet. Open my window a crack to let the heat out. All the hot air I'm blowing over the windshield. And really watch the road. Make sure the road stays wet and not black ice. And they're crazy people still with no lights on. or no lights. You guys are crazy. Check this out, it's definitely sticking on the top of the windshield there. Add some more heat to the windshield. See if we can avoid it from freezing up. Don't want the wipers to freeze up, basically. If they do, I'll just pull over and clean them off and keep going. Had to do that before. Starting to get to the whiteout conditions. Still see quite a bit, but I'm seeing less and less and less and less. Turn your lights on, people. So dangerous. All we need is one crazy person to decide they can pass me because I don't see oncoming lights. Okay, let's see if we can knock some of that ice off the wipers. Speeding them up. Seemed to work. Was not expecting to be driving into a blizzard. That is for darn sure. This is crazy. Also really windy. Wasn't expecting my first snowstorm to be in the US. Wow, I mean, we've had some snow before this, but this is the first real snowstorm that I've been in this winter so far, so all the rest we came after the snow or before the snow. Snow sticking to the trees pretty good. With the wind, and the sheriff totally didn't have their lights on. So, like everybody else, I flashed the sheriff. That's awesome. You're invisible. Starting to stick on the wipers and I can't knock it off. There is a scale in 6 miles. See if the wipers last long enough. If I still have visibility long enough that I'll pull off there and knock the ice off and continue. It's going to be one of those days. Lights. This kind of weather, I will flash at everybody that's not running lights. Look at that, no lights cutting in front of me. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. Anyway, I'm going to stop recording and focus on driving. seems to be getting to that condition where I don't want to be distracted by shooting video. So hope you guys enjoyed the bonus video. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Lights, people, lights, lights. Please turn your lights on.